All right, guys, hello and welcome to this Facebook Live, and it is my privilege, my honor, and I actually don't deserve to be here. But you know, when you have these legends sitting right next to you, thank you, Facebook, for letting me do this. This football that you see is in my hands, and it's almost like I'm going to hand it over to one of the greatest footballers that we've had of my generation. I can actually say that, my generation, the generations that have gone by, the generations to come. Thanks to technology, we can see one of the greatest in Portugal, one of the greatest in the world. He's won every award that you need to win, been there with the World Cups. I can go on and on and on. Louis Figo, thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you.
It really is, you know, and the bigger you'll get, achievement-wise, I feel the humbler you'll become, you know, and that's the beauty of it. How are you liking coming to the Facebook office?
Well, it's different for me.
It's different, isn't it? The AC's on, right? It's fine.
Like you said, in our generation, probably we didn't have that kind of situations, but the technology is always improving each day. So it's a pleasure to be here.
And this is absolutely live, so we can't edit anything else. So whatever you say goes out absolutely perfect. The man right next to him is perhaps a living legend of futsal. Today we're going to combine football and futsal. The two gentlemen responsible for making sure that it goes all over the world, yes. But this guy is probably easily regarded, and you can go anywhere and find out. Yes, he is, number of goals, all the statistics go for him. And the beauty is, Falcao is a living legend, and the beauty is he's still in such fantastic shape also. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, my friend.
The man right next to him, so sweet he is, Mr. George. He's going to be a translator, and this is his mother tongue, and that's why he's going to be speaking Portuguese with us. So it's going to go via to George. Thanks so much for joining. Why do you smile so much? I love it. Are you a footballer as well?
I played football in my
Really?
days.
You play football in your... No, you can still play right now. This man over here is our footballing guru as well. Rahul from Go.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See, how does it feel to be in like the group of legends? And I'm going to be all this side, all of us. No, but is it a dream coming for you to meet him as well?
Definitely. I think thanks Facebook and Premier Futsal for bringing us here and giving us a chance to sit with Figo, Falcao, Mr. George, and of course Salil.
Oh, so sweet. They'll figure it out later. But yeah, lots of things to talk about. Figo, I'll leave the futsal discussion with Rahul. I want to ask you about the growth and lots of things.
So, Louis, being the president of Premier Futsal, what was, tell us a bit about how successful the season 1 was.
Well, you know that when you start a project and or a new brand, you'll need time to settle all the things. Of course, for us, start a new project, a new event in a country that love sports, but in the same time, futsal is not so known like cricket or soccer, no? So there's always some issues, but we're really pleased about the views, about the recognitions that we had after the first season. I think it was an event that achieved so many people, and I think the most important that our intention, our goal is to continue to this project and to continue to promote not only this sport, but to create opportunities for the youngers to have a reference in this sport and to want to know more, to be curious, and to play futsal.
You know, I have to add on there as well. As you know, as ambassadors of the game, you've done it for so long. You know, how do you feel when you go out there? Do you miss your playing days sometimes? Yeah, we will, by the way, see the skill set as well today. But do you miss your playing days? Now you're like the face of the game.
Well, I think I had so long career, like 20 years. I started really young, and I think I play until I really was psychologically and physically tired. So, for telling the truth, I don't miss the competition in terms of play so many games and the routine. But of course, I love football, and I would love to be eternal. But I am the conscience and the reality that that is impossible. And when you stop, you stop. So it's no back.
None of you. Look at the stomach. There were 6 packs in them, and now look at you. Both of us. I'm having the ball over here. How do you all stay so fit after it goes?
It's no secret. I think is a good alimentation, and in the hand you have to continue to do exercise.
Exercise it is, man. Golden words from Louis Figo. Make sure you remember that.
So, Figo, coming back to futsal, you mentioned about creating opportunities for Indians. Now, how can an Indian, a youngster who wants to be part of Premier Futsal or want to play the sport of futsal, how can he be a part of this project?
I think this project is unique because you mix the professional futsal players with legend football, and you give opportunity to the youngest that to play with these fantastic mixed players, no? And so in the first edition we had a mix of Indian players that we scout from the different cities that we have the teams.
But is that difficult to scout? Because you have to be very harsh. Yes and no, yes and no. There's young
it's difficult when you have to say no to someone, but in the same time you'll be happy that you propose that opportunities to the ones that are the chance to play with the top players. No?
George, I have to ask you this also, if you could ask Falcao this. How does he feel now? He's just recently stopped playing competitive, game. Now sitting in the chair here, answering all these questions, if I asked this to Louis Figo, he said, yes, it's been a few years since he left, but does he miss it a lot more now? Having the ball on his feet and that competitiveness? I know a lot of athletes, they thrive on that adrenaline rush.
Então, pensa que depois de deixar o futebol daqui a pouco tempo, então pensa agora que está perdendo qualquer coisa do futebol?
Não, na verdade, o futebol faz parte da minha vida, faz parte da vida do
Football is
Figo.
part of my life.
Faz parte da vida do Figo.
It is part of Figo's life.
O atleta, infelizmente, tem um prazo de validade. Né?
Of course, an athlete unfortunately has a certain time period.
E hoje o futsal é um escape para os jogadores de futebol.
Is an escape type for the football.
Agora, uma semana atrás, fiz um evento de futsal com
I did an event of futsal 1 week ago
Ryan Giggs no Líbano.
with Ryan Giggs in Lebanon.
E a Premier Futsal vem para inovar
First, futsal comes to Innova.
e continuar dando vida para ex-jogadores.
He continuing the life of these football players.
É uma ideia fantástica,
It's a fantastic idea
promovido pela Premier Futsal da Índia.
which has been promoted by the first futsal from India.
What about the fans? I've always said this, whenever I see footballers, the world over, they have fans. How do they react with that? We were speaking to Figo just now, and he said, selection for sport, you can say no to, but you have to say yes to all your fans. Does he miss that adulation being on the field with the fans?
Então faz falta dos fans do futebol seus.
Sim,
Sem
na
saudades?
verdade, eu ainda, como estou jogando, né,
I still play.
devo fazer a minha despedida da seleção brasileira desse ano.
I must do selection for Brazilian team.
E profissionalmente devo jogar mais 2 anos de
And
futsal no
professionally, I
Brasil.
must play another 2 years
No Brasil.
in Brazil.
E hoje eu tenho muitos convites pelo mundo inteiro.
And today I have been invited by many people in the world.
Ainda mais agora em janeiro que eu fui eleito pela FIFA o melhor jogador da
I have
história.
been elected by FIFA, chosen by FIFA,
Melhor jogador da história de futsal.
as the best player of futsal.
Oh, there's no question
Chosen
about
by
that.
FIFA.
And we say that all the time, yes. But before I give over to Rahul once again, in cricket, we have India versus Pakistan. Yeah, it's a big rivalry. India-Australia, big rivalry. I want to know about the rivalry in Brazil and Argentina. Yes.
Aqui na Índia nós temos rivalria em cricket entre dois países, Paquistão e Índia. Então qual é a rivalidade entre a Argentina, não? Argentina e Brasil.
Brasil e Argentina, rivalidade em todos os esportes.
They have rivalry in all the sports.
In all the sports.
Mas é uma rivalidade sadia,
Yeah,
uma boa rivalidade.
One of the best rivalries is,
Todos se respeitam muito,
and they respect us all.
mas o brasileiro não aceita perder para a Argentina e o argentino não aceita perder para o
But
brasileiro.
Brazil doesn't accept losing to Argentina, and Argentina doesn't accept losing to Brazil.
And the fans, the best part is, if you lose, the fans don't accept losing to anybody. So you better exit the stadium if there's a loss. Go ahead, bro.
Falcao, talking about Premier Futsal and futsal in general. Now, when you go out, Yes, George. So when you're looking to, scout a player, like we were talking about saying yes and no, what are the qualities you're looking for? If I'm an
Quando
Indian player,
seleciona um jogador para futsal, quais são as qualidades que o senhor olha?
O futsal é um esporte diferente, né?
Futsal is a different sport.
yes.
No Brasil é usado muito também como formador de jogador de futebol.
And mostly is used as a training for the football players.
Por que eu acredito no futsal na Índia?
Why I think there should be futsal in India is,
Um exemplo, um menino de 12 anos
for example, a boy of 12 years,
vai treinar 1 hora no futebol,
if he spends training 1 hour in football,
o campo é grande,
the field is very big,
vai pegar na bola
and he's
3,
going to play with the
4,
ball
5 vezes.
4 or 5 times all around the field.
No futsal, em 1 hora, ele vai pegar na bola 30 vezes,
But
40
in futsal,
vezes.
within 1 hour, he's going to engage with the ball 30 times.
Então, um país que é tão populoso, com poucos esportes,
So as India is very there's a high population,
Very passionate about sports as well.
passionate
Yes.
about sports.
eu acredito que o futsal, em pouco tempo, vai ser uma realidade na Índia.
I think that futsal will be a great reality in a short time in India.
Porque tudo pode mudar em 2 minutos,
Everything you can change in 2 minutes.
você está sempre próximo do seu ídolo.
You are always near to your idol.
Então, eu acredito que a Premier Futsal veio para ficar e isso vai
I feel that futsal will remain here
chamar a atenção das crianças
and
também.
this draw the attention of the kids.
Well, we hope it never actually goes away. But coming to India, you hardly had any time. You go from one hotel room to an airplane, back to shooting. So what about food? What does Luis Figo like to eat? Let's get to know the man behind this legendary footballer.
Well, it's true. I would like to have the chance to visit more the cities where I
So do you
am,
check
because
out-
these guys make me work too much. You understand? So
No, I'll give
I
him a
come
list of
from the
places to bring,
airport to
yes.
the hotel to another hotel. So no chance to see the city. My daughters, they usually say, take a lot of pictures, but I can't. I don't have what I'm going to take pictures
In the car.
In the car.
You can take pictures in the car. But I
The
will,
traffic.
I will ask you one thing. Do you read up about a country before you go sometimes when you're going in there as brand ambassadors of a game? So,
Well, I travel so often that most of the places I have been, so I don't need to read about it, no. But when it's some city or some country that is new for me, I try to inform a little bit.
what's the one thing you hear about India when you're abroad?
Taj Mahal,
Taj Mahal. Cricket?
cricket, of course,
And that's it.
and Premier Futsal.
And for him, how's he enjoying the experience of being in India? It's pretty much like Brazil,
Como está
actually.
gostando da Índia, a presença de estar aqui na Índia?
Para
É
mim-
mais ou menos como estar no Brasil?
Para mim, desde o ano passado, foi uma surpresa muito positiva.
From the last year, I'm having a great surprise this country to me.
O povo indiano é muito receptivo
And the Indian people are very receptive.
e tanto eu como o Figo, os
Me
jogadores,
and Juga, we have played.
os jogadores que vieram para a Índia na primeira Premier Futsal,
And we and other players who came on the first futsal in India.
todos muito felizes
And they were very, very
e
happy.
todos querendo voltar para a Índia.
And they want to come back again to India.
Então,
Was he surprised that
estou na minha casa.
Estava surpreendido com essa atitude dos brasileiros que querem voltar para a Índia.
Todos querem voltar porque fomos
Everybody wants to return.
muito bem tratados.
We have been well treated over here.
As pessoas muito parecidas com os brasileiros.
And the people also look very much in attitude like Brazilians.
Toda a equipe Premier Futsal nos tornou uma grande família indiana.
Yeah, and the first team of futsal was like a big family for us.
Well, thank you so much for saying that for us. We love the fact that you're here. But there's a lot of chat that's actually happened. Can we see some skills with the football?
Vamos fazer qualquer coisa com futebol?
Yes?
Jogar com a bola?
Yes, with all these things. But we're going to create a stadium for you. Okay, so we're going to move these back a little bit. Yep. Please feel free to break anything that you want. So we sort of figured this. Since he does know Virat Kohli, that's the bat.
Oh, Virat.
Yes, Virat's bat.
Take care, Virat. They're going to take your place.
If you could come back a bit. And since, has he followed cricket at all?
Segue o jogo de cricket na
Sim,
Índia?
tem que jogar pra ele.
I follow.
No. We'll have you both from here.
Australia, India.
For now.
For now.
And that little further back.
George.
Figo, a little
Apanha a
closer
bola.
there, yeah.
Ah, sim.
And where the poor fielders at short leg that are going to get whacked.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, Figo isn't holding back. And he's really holding back. Oh! Okay. So
Virat, take care, eh?
one for the camera on this side.
Okay.
No, you bowl, sir, and I'm going to try and be the goalkeeper. He takes the catch. And now George, since you've been sitting so well,
George,
let me bowl as well.
Não, Jorge, no chão. No chão, Jorge. Make it difficult. India.
That's a sixer.
India.
That's a
And let's
sixer.
have some footballing skills from the two great legends. Can we have a tandem, Louis, both of you? Like back and forth to each other?
Oi.
Jorge,
Jorge, anda lá, Jorge.
George, in your chappals, can you play also some football?
É isso. Muita técnica. Oh. Good.
So what's the toughest thing if you asked him while playing? How many hours a day? We always see people dribbling for hours a day. So how many hours a day did he dribble?
Quantas vezes por dia você joga uma bola assim?
eu ainda em atividade eu treino 2 horas de manhã e 2 horas à tarde.
2 hours in the morning and 2 in the evening he trains himself with the ball.
Oh, brilliant. And so when did you think that you would become like this brilliant big footballer, I mean, in his career? When did you think that would happen?
Quando é que pensou, quando jogava futebol, quando é que pensou que você seria uma grande personalidade de futebol no mundo?
No Brasil, quando as crianças nascem, já querem ser jogador de
In
futebol. Né?
Brazil, when people just they are born, they always feel they'll be great celebrities in football.
And Louis, what about you? Yes, over the years, were you born with that footballing talent? Did your mother say, yes, this boy has it in him?
Well,
Over a period of time.
I tried to play a lot when I was a kid because I love the ball, I love train, I love to practice, so it was a passion for me.
And yes, and eventually it did become the biggest profession. What about playing for Barcelona and Real Madrid? You play for two rival clubs, and they're like India, Pakistan, and they're like Australia and India again, and Argentina and Brazil. Was it tough to go back from one club to the other club?
Well,
The fans at least?
Well, the move is always a tough decision because it's between the two biggest clubs in the world. So, but I think in the end, resuming the 5 years that I spent in Madrid was a fantastic decision for me.
Oh, perfect.
Jorge,
That's perfect.
não.
Okay, so do we have any questions that have come on
Futebol.
on
Aí,
their Facebook Live? Imagine, I never thought in my entire life I would get a chance to actually hit one ball with Louis Figo, man. Can you imagine that? That's incredible. And Rahul, you as a footballing guru, your life is complete. Samapt ho gaya aapka sab
Done.
kuch.
It's perfection.
Okay. Now with futsal, if you had to look at the number one skill, what's the number one skill that they look for in a player? Should he be able to bounce the ball like this, or just be able to watch the
Primeiro
ball?
skill, a primeira isto, como expertise que deve fazer com essa bola no futsal.
o futsal é um jogo que você tem que pensar muito rápido, né?
Okay. Futsal is a game where you have to think very fast.
Mas a habilidade e o contato dos pés com a bola do futsal e futebol é o mesmo.
Okay, the ability to handle the ball with the leg, both in football and futsal is the same.
Similar. Like Falcao was saying, that it's a really good rehearsal to go into football as well, because they both require a lot of skills, but for a youngster, futsal is a little better. Would you agree with that? And then you can eventually go on to...
I started playing football in a small pitch, like playing futsal.
Right.
So, like Falcao was saying, I think if you are able to play in the small side pitch, because the sizes are reduced.
Yes.
And if you train your technique after, when you are in big spaces, it's much more easy, of course, because you have much more space to control, you have much more space to dribble, and it's important, yes.
So if you had to take one important kick, the rainbow flick or the one behind the leg, the Rabona, which one's the tougher one for you? Is it tougher to curve the ball across? I mean, nothing's tough for both of you all anyway, yeah. But which one would be your favorite kick? The rainbow or the Rabona?
Seria deste modo ou mesmo deste lado? Para si, mais favorito seu.
Because you are more more easy.
Why is that
But for
back?
him, no, because he's Brazilian.
What about as a Portuguese footballer, you know, and now with Ronaldo also coming and becoming a really big global name. Now do you think that the focus, and this I'm going to ask you for him, has the focus shifted away from Brazil now? Earlier it is only Brazil. Now Spain's there, and so many other big teams have actually come across, if you talk about just football. And you know, you started it all with, and now Ronaldo's carried it forward, you know, and so there's this great rivalry that is there is with Messi and Ronaldo. Do you think now it's really become like lots of nations that are very powerful?
Well, I think more population you have and more tradition, more history, will continue to produce great talent, and the rivalry will be always the same. The thing that is the small countries, small population countries like Portugal, that we always used to produce amazing talents too. Depending of the generation who comes out, probably have the chance to win important titles too, like Spain. They have a fantastic generation. They won the World Cup and the European Cup too. So depend a little bit of which generation you pick and comes out, that you have more or not chances to win too. No?
Well, you know, I think our generation is honored and privileged. And when I mean our generation, I mean Raul and me, and George, of course, is all generations actually. He's all encompassing. But your favorite footballer, George, before we go, since it's Brazilian is in your blood, Portuguese is in your blood. Now come on, from the current generation, and don't look here. Who's your favorite footballer nowadays?
Really?
He's got to keep his job. That's very important. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. It was a real pleasure and a great honor.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you.
I also want to say thank you to you. Thank you so much.
you.
And as we look to end this Facebook Live session, I'm going to give a shot at the two cameras in front of you. Choose any camera and kick the ball. Oh, you really did kick the ball. Okay, see you guys. That was a fantastic Facebook session. Like I said, we had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.